Online hate speech is, well, it's a massive problem. But what happens when that problem runs headfirst into one of the most linguistically complex languages in the world? Today, we're diving into how cutting-edge AI is being trained to understand and spot hate speech in Arabic. And believe me, it's a challenge that pushes machine learning to its absolute limits. So let's just start with a real-world example of what these algorithms are actually up against.
Yeah, this right here, it's a real comment translated from Arabic, pulled straight from a social media site. It's not subtle, is it? It's targeted, it's dehumanizing, and it's exactly the kind of stuff that platforms are scrambling to contain. This is the raw material researchers are working with to try and build a better, smarter filter for the internet.
And that really gets to the core of it. You know, an AI trained on English might have a decent shot at this, but the nuances of other languages can make its job incredibly difficult. So we're going to dig into why that is, specifically for Arabic, and see how a whole new generation of AI is stepping up to the plate.
So what is it about this specific language that makes it such a massive hurdle for our algorithms to clear?
Well, first, let's just talk about the sheer scale. Arabic is spoken by over 1 billion people. It's the official language in more than 20 countries. What that means is there's this enormous, constantly growing ocean of content online, from news comments to social media rants. The volume alone is just staggering.
But it's not just how much there is, it's how complex it is. A single Arabic root word can sprout into dozens of different forms. You've got tons of local dialects that are wildly different from each other. And then you throw in social media. With all its informal text, its slang, its crazy grammar, it can totally confuse an algorithm that's just trying to figure out the context. It's really a perfect storm of linguistic challenges.
So to solve this puzzle, researchers basically set up a showdown between two different families of AI. You can think of it as two totally different ways an AI can learn to read and actually understand what a sentence means. Okay, so on one side, you've got the established veteran, word2vec. These models learn what a word means by looking at its immediate neighbors. It's kind of like trying to understand a word by only seeing a couple of words on either side of it. But on the other side is the powerful newcomer, BERT. BERT is built differently. It reads the entire sentence, forwards, backwards, all at once, to get the full context. It's a fundamental difference in how they see the text. With our two contenders ready, the researchers set up a direct competition, a bake-off, you could call it, to see which approach, and which specific AI model, could most accurately pick out Arabic hate speech. Now, the foundation for this whole experiment is the data. The AI models were trained and tested on a set of 20,000 real social media posts. And this is the crucial part. They weren't labeled by another algorithm. No, they were manually classified by 3 native Arabic speakers. That human touch is absolutely essential for teaching the AI the kind of nuance it needs to learn. The rules of the competition were super simple, just to make sure it was a fair fight. Everybody gets the same data, which is first cleaned up, to get rid of stuff like URLs and random punctuation. Then, every single model gets trained on this exact same dataset. And finally, they're all let loose on a test set and scored on one simple thing. How accurate are you? So, after all that training and all that testing, a clear winner started to emerge. Here's how it all went down. First up, the big showdown. The older word2vec models going head-to-head with the newer transformer-based BERT models. And honestly, it wasn't even close. The best word2vec model did hit a really impressive 97.7% accuracy for sure. But the top BERT model? A staggering 99.4%. That ability to see the full context of a sentence proved to be a complete game changer. All right, so knowing that the BERT approach was way better, the researchers drilled down even further. Within that winning family, there were 3 specific models in the running: ARABERT, CAMeLBERT, and MARBERT. Time for the main event. And the results crowned a new champion. MARBERT came out on top, and by a pretty significant margin. So why was it so much better? Well, its secret weapon was its training data. MARBERT was pre-trained on a gigantic dataset of Arabic tweets. It was literally born and raised in the exact environment it was being tested in, that messy, informal, chaotic world of social media. But to squeeze out that absolute peak performance, they paired MARBERT with a few different deep learning architectures. The winning combo used a technique that, a lot like BERT itself, processes information both forwards and backwards. This extra layer of contextual understanding managed to push the accuracy even higher, getting the model to its absolute best. So this number right here,
99.45% accuracy, that's the single most important result from this entire study. It represents a new state-of-the-art for spotting hate speech in Arabic. It's a level of accuracy that gets incredibly, incredibly close to human-level performance on this particular dataset. A high score in a research paper is great and all, but what does this actually mean for the millions of us who use the internet every single day? Well, there are three huge takeaways here. First, context is king. The success of these BERT models proves that for understanding language, you just can't look at words in isolation. Second, specialization works. An AI trained on social media text is just going to be better at understanding social media text. It makes sense, right? And finally, and this is the most important part, this research gives us a powerful new tool in the ongoing fight to make online spaces safer and more inclusive for Arabic speakers all over the world. And all this brings us to a final, really critical question. This technology is incredibly powerful, there's no doubt about that, but just remember, it learned its definition of hate speech from a small group of human labelers. So as these systems get more and more woven into our digital lives, the question of who sets that standard, who gets to draw the line between what's toxic and what's acceptable, well, that becomes more important than ever.